right, today we are going to be talking about 5 photos every rider must take at the crash scene. Welcome to our new informative segment of Moto Talks with Mitch and Mel for the law firm of Proner and Proner. I'm your host and fellow rider, Mel McCoyup. And as often as we can, we will sit down with a personal injury expert himself and writer, Mr. Mitch Proner, a personal injury attorney with over 30 years of experience here to answer your questions or any interesting topics that you might find useful in the personal injury world. And please remember, folks, if you need to contact us, all consultations are free and confidential. Call us at any time at 1-800-321-1234. Now, before we go on, I just want to mention that this past weekend, we got a chance to participate as a sponsor for the Ride to Fight Suicide, hosted by the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And actually, here's some footage that you can check out right over here. And you'll be able to get a better chance to look at that in the near future. Yeah, and it was an amazing event, Mitch, actually. And it was really great to meet not only the sponsors, but all the other riders. So, yeah, it was really, really fantastic. And thanks for the lead on that, Mitch. How are you doing, Mitch?
Doing well. So it's always nice to participate in rides and motorcycle events. Over the years, I've done every type of event possible, from personally riding on USA and world runs with motorcycle clubs, to local swap meets and charity runs and rides, and it's been a part of my life for, I guess, 40 years now, which is a long time. And I'm still riding this weekend, and the weather's supposed to be nice. So
I know. Where are you going to be riding to, if you don't mind me asking?
Going into Connecticut.
Very nice.
Going into Connecticut. There's about 20 motorcycle clubs getting together, and I'm going to be speaking there, and nice. I'm looking forward to it.
Amazing. Yeah, today would have been beautiful to ride too. I should have wrote in maybe next time. So let's go on to it. Yeah, the main topic today is 5 photos every rider must take at the scene of a crash. Now, Mitch, what are the most important photos? I don't know if it's just 5, but there could probably be more or less, but what photos should a rider take right after a crash?
So I wish every rider would watch this video. I really wish every rider would watch this video, because so many times, I think I've tried more motorcycle accident cases than any other attorney on the planet. I mean, I've tried a lot of motorcycle accident cases. I've done motorcycle versus car, motorcycle versus bus, motorcycle versus motorcycle, motorcycle versus truck, highway defect motorcycle cases, failure to retract kickstands, exploding motorcycles. I could go on. And typically, the photos that they take are part of the evidence that I use to help win the cases. And you have no idea how much time I've spent with bad photos trying to make them better.
Wow. Okay.
You're entitled to enhance evidence.
Oh.
So to blow up, to crop photos, you're entitled to do it. The other side can ask for the digital originals of the photos, and they don't always do that. But if they do that, you have to provide them. Now, I'm also entitled to the other side's photos. Do they always provide me with the digital photos on request? No. Do they eat photos? Yes. Have I tried to get court orders to disclose photos? Yes. Does that mean I get them? No. So this is really an important topic, because I've been down on my bike. I got hit by a taxi cab. I broke my wrist, my ankle, 7 bones in my back in a motorcycle accident. It can happen to anybody. no matter how cautious a rider you are, no matter what type of protective gear you have. So these are the photos you need to get, and I'm going to tell you specifically how to take these photos. Okay? First of all, if there's damage to the other vehicle, take photos of the other vehicle. If you can, if you're laying on the ground and you can't move, you know, you're not supposed to drag yourself over to the car and let me get one more shot. No, worry about your health first. But maybe you've got a brother or a sister with you, a rider that can help take the photos. Maybe you got a passenger that you're worried about, but you could take the photos.
Yeah.
Whatever. If the photos can be taken, if there's damage to the other vehicle and you can get photos of the damage, don't just focus on the scuff mark. Go around the entire vehicle. Show the absence of photos on another part. Because they might say that damage is not from the accident. There were a lot of scuffs or whatever. Get the entire vehicle. That's number one. Number two, same thing from your bike.
Right.
Get both sides. Pick it up. Get both sides. Now, if you can't do this, call me up right away. I'll get an investigator out to where the vehicles are, whatever junkyard or garage has them. I'll get photos of both vehicles at the earliest possible opportunity. And we'll investigate a case within 24 hours. And if we don't take the case, our investigation's no charge. But you want to get the vehicles photographed.
Right.
Your vehicle, the other vehicle, both sides, front and back. And if there is any particular damage that you think is from the vehicle, get them from close up and far away. Film doesn't cost anything. Develop doesn't cost anything anymore. It stays in your phone. You're not going to pay extra money to take 40 photos instead of 2. Won't cost you anything. Take 40 photos from every possible angle. Second of all, if you can get the location of the vehicles from every possible angle. You have no idea how many times I got 6 photos from somebody and I'm looking at one photo and there's a building in the background and I got to go on Google Maps and back and forth trying to find that building in the photo, figure out where it is, to triangulate where this incident occurred. And it's like a study in you need to know the Pythagorean theorem just to triangulate where the vehicles were. And you got to figure out the size of the markings just to figure out distances. And it's tough. Instead, if you take photos of the vehicles afterwards from every possible angle, well, they moved right afterwards. Yeah. How far did they move?
Oh, okay.
What was the distance they moved from the point of impact? Were they driven away or did they just pull over? Whatever it is, don't try to calculate that at the time. Just take a ton of photos of the vehicles from every possible angle so we could see what's that goes for every type of incident. People take a photo of a crack and they show me one photo of the crack close up and they say, this is what I tripped on. And you can't see where that crack is. It could be in Russia because they didn't take any of the background. So you got to get everything. Get it all around 360. It doesn't cost any more. So, 1, the bike. 2, the car. 3, the location. Okay. Now you took 120 photos. Did it cost you anything? No. It sits in your phone. And then you send them to me. And if you didn't have an opportunity to do this because you're really banged up, you're in the hospital, call me as soon as you get to the hospital and say, Mitch, I got into a wreck. Can you help me out? Yeah. Where, when? Okay. Boom. We'll find out where the bike is, where the car is. We'll take photos. It can make a big difference
Right.
because not every case settles, especially with motorcycles, because they always try and blame the rider. And the evidence could help you to win the case. Okay. Can you guess what's for?
Gear. Riding gear.
You got it.
Ooh.
Very good. Very good. If you went down, chances are there's some scuff marks. Your helmet might have got scuffed up. Your shoulders on your leathers might have got scuffed up. Your knees on your pants might have got scuffed up. Later on, you're claiming for a knee injury or a head injury. And they say they didn't complain about the knee at the hospital. They didn't complain about the knee for 2 days. Oh, yeah? Well, look at the scuffs on the riding gear. Look at the impact.
Yep.
Look at his head injury is not from the accident. Well, look at the helmet. He had a blow to the head.
Yeah.
All that's important. What's 5?
Oh.
I'll say
The other your injuries.
There you go.
Oh my God. I'm learning something.
There you go. Your injuries. I didn't prep Mel on this beforehand. He knows I know the answers because I'm doing this too long, right? I tell him just come up with the questions. I got the answers. Okay. The injuries. Your injuries are going to change over time. And the physical appearance of the injuries will change over time. So, right after the accident, when you're in the hospital, it might not look as bad as it's going to look. It might look much more beat up afterwards. One time when I was a young lawyer, we're talking about over 30 years ago, I was just starting out and I newly admitted, and I was a rider. So I started getting cases from riders, just from people that I knew that give me cases. So this girl that I knew, young lady that I knew, she got into a motorcycle accident and her pelvis slammed into the gas tank. Because as the bike hit the car, it was a T-bone, slammed into the gas tank.
Yeah.
So the next day, even though she didn't go to the hospital, the next day she had black and blues on her thighs, on her inner thighs. And so she had a friend take some photos, and I guess because of the personal nature of the photos, she had like a cap, and she put the cap down over her eyes and was looking over to the side, and she got, in those days there were Polaroids
Right.
were photos that would like develop right away. So she came over to my apartment and she gave me the paperwork to get authorized. She left the photo the photos like on my coffee table, and she left. And just after she left, my roommate comes home and he looks at the coffee table and he says, "Mitch, I don't know what you're into, but you got to get some help."
I knew you were going.
I was like, no, Greg, it's not what you think. It's a client. She's like, oh, beat up between her thighs. I was like, no. But anyway, the point is, the photos over time, bruises could take. I've seen horrible black and blues, and they look people get bruises the whole legs, and it's painful.
Yeah.
And take photos because you're entitled to compensation for pain and suffering. And people look at those photos and they go, ooh, and that it's going to increase the value of the claim, but it might not be the first day. And they're not taking photos at a hospital. They're not. The only time they will at a hospital is to protect themselves. If they think you're going to lose a limb, they might take photos before they remove the limb just to show, look, this is what it looked like.
Yeah.
And sometimes we do get photos before surgery at a hospital, but it's rare. Typically, they don't take photos. And they're not going to take photos just to show what your bruises are. If you got road rash, they're going to tape it up. But when they change the bandages, take the photos, because they'll show your injuries in a way that 6 months later, when you got a scar, the bruises are gone. It doesn't look the same.
Right.
So those photos are important. And those are the 5 photos that you should get. And like I said, you're not making a mistake if you take too many photos. You're not making a mistake if you get the background. If you've got a scratch on your thigh, don't just take a photo of the thigh. Take the whole body and then the close-up of the thigh. But the whole body so you can see whose thigh it is.
Right.
So it's not just some random picture. You need to get the whole body. Don't just get the vehicle. Get where the vehicle is from 360 so that you can see where the vehicle was in relation to the roadway. Vehicles move after impact. You want to be able to show, hey, there was movement after impact. Look at these photos. Whatever it is, the position of them, the angles, where they are in relation to the intersection, in relation to the stop sign, in relation to the traffic control devices.
Right.
All these things play a role in proving the physics of the impact. Vehicles are in motion. One of the basic rules of physics is a vehicle in motion will stay in motion until enacted on by another force. How does that force affect the vehicle in motion? Depends on a lot of issues. Momentum, weight times mass equals momentum. A vehicle moving at 30 miles an hour is traveling at 45 feet per second. That's not going to stop because the energy involved in that vehicle prior to collision, unless it's acted upon by an equal and opposite force. All these rules of physics may be proved or may have assistance in proving the facts of your incident by having the photos immediately afterwards. Accident reconstructors can use photos to prove different things. They typically can't prove speed just on the amount of damage, what the damage to the vehicle looks like. That's usually not enough to prove speed.
Okay.
But an accident reconstruction can take different issues into account and oftentimes can come up with an estimate of speed based on the conservation of energy and other factors.
Okay.
So these issues, but an accident reconstruction also needs the area involved because you got to plot and data points. So that's it. Those are the issues. Take the photos.
I did have one question that kind of related with the advent of everyone using their video cameras and going to video. Are photos a stronger choice than just taking a video? Because I know in my head I would think, oh,
Yeah,
I can capture
I would
so
think
many.
photos and videos are great. Videos are great also. I'm not going to say a video is less probative than a photo. And even a video can be shown in frames.
Right.
So you can take one part of a video and just show that. So yeah, I would say that videos are good too. I mean, and if you got a GoPro on your helmet, sure, that could be great. But if you got a GoPro on your helmet showing you doing 120 miles an hour, that's not going to be so good for your case.
Right. And I guess it's a good note that if you are going to take pictures or video, to put it at the highest resolution to get as much detail as possible. Would that be advisable?
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing is if somebody's making statements along the line with videos, Take your phone and record that.
Yeah, yeah.
So one time I was at an accident scene actually taking photos. After it was after a motorcycle accident, I go with my motorcycle and 3 other guys on bikes, and we're trying to figure out how the accident happened because we had some photos at the time and we're taking photos. And all of a sudden I hear one of the guys with me say, "No!" And we all turn around to see what he's saying no to, and we see a car backing up. And of the 4 bikes that were there, one of them was being dragged behind the bus. Someone's backing up. So we all go running over, going, "No!" And just as we get over there, it was my bike.
No.
My bike on the ground as she's dragging it back. So I said,
no.
"Stop, stop." You push my bike. And the woman says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see the motorcycle behind me. I backed up. I was just looking at the roadway. I didn't see the motorcycle there." And I said, "Wait a second." And I took out my phone and I said, "Ma'am, would you say that again?" And I recorded it.
Wait, did your bike have frame sliders or any like a cage?
So I did have, they used to call them crash guards, but now I think the manufacturers call them engine protectors. And the reason why they call them engine protectors rather than crash guards, because they found that a lot of these so-called crash guards can fold like a corn stalk in a hurricane, and they don't protect the rider's legs. And there was a lot of litigation about that because they were using tempered steel for them in the 30s and 40s, and they were pretty good. And then they went to a less strong metal alloy, and they were folding a lot more, so they changed the names rather than go back to the harder steel that they were using. But anyway, the worst thing was it broke my kickstand off.
Oh no.
So what I had to do to keep my bike upright was I had to put a log underneath it.
Oh no.
Eventually I got it fixed.
But could you ride it home? Or
I was able to ride it home. But then once I got it home, I had to put a log under it.
And then it has a suicide stand, right? Most Harleys do.
And then eventually it turned out the frame was tweaked, so I had it totaled.
No, that's
I got a new road glide.
It was your road glide?
Yeah, my old one.
Oh man,
this is I think my 4th road glide, which is what I ride.
Yeah. Oh, there were a ton of those at the last event. You would have loved it. Bunch of different colors, but it was pretty amazing. Well, wow, that's really awesome information. I hope all you motorcyclists are actually tuning in because that's very informative even for myself. So, well, there you have it, folks. You heard it from the expert himself, Mr. Mitch Proner. And don't forget, if you need our help, please give us a call 24/7 at 1-800-321-1234, where all consultations are free and confidential. And that'll do it for now. And thank you all for taking the time to tune in, whether it's on our podcast or video broadcast. We really do appreciate you taking the time. And please, if you haven't yet, please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and of course, YouTube. Like, share, and of course, please subscribe so you get the latest updates. Now, before we go, Mitch, I know you said a lot of good information. Is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah. Have one of your buddies or your significant other also take a cool photo of you riding when you're well.
Yes. Yeah. Don't rely on the reflections in there. Yeah, that's definitely true.
I don't have any photos of me riding around when I was a kid with my long hair. And I wish I did.
Not even a single one. Oh,
I can't. I don't think I have one now. Anyway, that's life. All right.
Thanks again, Mitch. I mean, I'm jealous of the long hair. You would have loved seeing me with hair, but thanks again for yet another informative session with you. And thank you all for checking us out. And remember, we ride just like you. Take care, guys. Thank you. Thanks, Mitch.
Thanks, Mel. Be well. Bye-bye.
You too.